I mean, it's a pretty good jam.
What year is this?
I mean, I want to say 67, but I know that's not right. It's 60s.
69.
It's 60s. It's 100% 60s. It's called Fancy Good.
Fancy Good.
Fancy Good by Electric Machine, their only hit. And that album is like a $500 if you find it. Like, it's one of those rare boys that's just like...
Is it like self-titled Electric Machine?
It's... I made sure to get the original... Disco Fashion is the name of the album by Electric Machine. It's called Fancy Good, yeah. But it's so I found it on. There's like those consolidation labels on Bandcamp.
Yeah.
That are like reviving older songs in like not collaboration, but like collection albums, and like that's like one of the ones of and I've actually seen the record at record stores, like them like kneading through it, like the newer, like they actually took the record from this consolidation album and made it into a real record, and it's a real thing. But
all right.
the real album for this is like $300 minimum. Like it's a real juicer of an album.
That is a juicer, dude.
Yeah, it's like 69, like disco funk. But yeah, we're drinking beer.
Let's talk about this beer because I don't think they know about the beer.
They don't have to know. It's called Graft.
It's very good.
Not Craft, but it's called Graft.
It's VG.
VG, very good. And a friend of mine, a friend of ours by proxy, is the brew master. I talked with him the other weekend when I went to a housewarming party for my friends that we are mutually friends with, and he said he owns the Grave. Pretty sure it's Grave, not Crave. Graft, not Craft. Same shit.
Everything you just said is wrong.
So Graft. So they're Graft, not Craft. Not Craft.
Graft beer.
Graft, yeah.
Graft beer.
Like a skin graft, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, but they're he was like
they're in Newburgh, right?
Yeah.
Based in Newburgh.
Salzburg,
dude.
I apparently now professionally know the lead brouhaha guy. He told me that the guy that's in charge of the marketing is also in charge of the labels and how they look and stuff and the names of the beer / cider. I mean, they're all technically cider.
But they're bridging the gap between beer and cider.
Yeah, that's their goal, is to bridge the gap between beer and cider, and
it's pretty good.
They're doing so very well. I think it's
the perfect October beer that isn't like shitty October beer.
Yeah, because there's a lot of shitty October beer.
And like Sam Adams.
Sam Adams Oktoberfest is fucking trash.
Awful.
Dude, the other
Banana Peel Matt drinking. He's just like, he took one sip, he's like, I don't like this.
He's like, what's the seasonal Sam? They were like, Oktoberfest, and I was like, I hate Oktoberfest. And he's like, I love Oktoberfest.
I'd like a pint of Oktoberfest.
And he took one, he's like, I hate this.
He's like, I hate it.
I was like, what did you
He was like gonna get like a fucking refund. I'm like, you ordered it.
I have the coupon, excuse me.
Oh my god.
Dude, there's it's I feel like Oktoberfest isn't a popular beer. Like, it's just like
Adam's Oktoberfest?
If you like, yeah.
No, they just force it upon us every October.
No, that's the most forced dark beer that there is.
It's like
Because there's like dunkels and shit out there that you can like.
Well, there's actual fucking.
Yeah. Well, no, there's
German
plenty of room for like
Bavarian
German
beer.
misunderstanding, but like you can still fall into that American dark beer trap that like isn't good dark beer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But this Graft fucking brewery.
It's very good.
Yeah. No,
It's-
they have like seven.
got-
Not trying to fucking publish like. Not about that.
We're sponsored by Graf. This is the ad portion of the podcast. So.
Yeah, I know the the people that where he goes to their CrossFit gym. I'm friends with them,
True.
so that's the relationship that we have. But he cooked me a mean burger and he fed me this fucking what's it called? Horchata.
Yeah.
This honey horchata cider.
Oh,
Why
man.
is this on? Why is this
Oh
on?
man,
Do we have a controller to turn it off?
it's right next to the podcast.
Is this who's this Mewtwo King? No, I'm not even gonna use it. That looks
Is that
like
Billy Corgan?
yeah. So so it's like it's a honey horchata cider. That's like
Yeah.
basically a beer that's like way better than every other beer.
We're in October drinking horchata. So.
In October, drinking horchata.
I never did make horchata.
You said you would.
I was gonna do that in college. One of many things that I never finished.
I had it once.
It was horchata and DMT. It was like if we take motor oil and bake it, we would have fucking killed ourselves.
There was like a BuzzFeed article that was like 37 steps to make DMT, and we're halfway there.
We're capable.
We could do the rest.
We've seen Breaking Bad.
Dude, but like honestly, like we could have made DMT
In our rented
in our yeah
our conventional oven that we cook.
that we made like firecrackers in. So why not? Which was just like weed and peanut butter on crackers. So
Remember when Matt fucked up the brownies? Was
I
that Matt?
no, I don't actually.
We wasted like a whole half a batch of pot brownies.
Matt like burned it. What did he do?
What did he do? He fucked him up somehow.
Because I remember, what was it before 420? Because that's the only other time I remember.
That's the only time we made them though.
Yeah.
We didn't bother. What did he do?
No, they weren't good. I remember having, like, I remember saying that, oh, like, we're gonna take brownies, so like, go easy for this half of the day on 420,
Yeah.
2012. But then like, they weren't like crazy brownies at all.
No, because I ate two and I was
Yeah. I also ate two, and I was like, let's fucking smoke, because I wasn't even that high. Like,
Yeah. I think he... No, wait. Did he drop the pan?
oh yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He spilled the butter.
Yeah, he spilled the whole butter everywhere. So we had like
butter.
We had like
The
half
butter
the
you're supposed to bake everything
so we
in.
just ate like normal.
He was like,
guys.
and we're just like, what the fuck are you doing?
Literal butter fingers, spilled
Fucking-
butter,
Get fucking
slipping on a banana peel.
Oh
as
my
usual,
God.
dude.
unbelievable.
I remember weed, dude.
Dude, weed was fun. What a sentence.
I mean, it was fun. I mean, I had my times in college.
I'm honestly surprised that. I'm not surprised at the bong that you ended up buying, because it was
No.
such a sick ass bong,
It was,
and it had like the frosted like spiral on it
Yeah.
and everything. It was a sick ass
that
bong,
was
but the fragility of it.
well.
Like I know for a fact that I was one of the people that fucking broke the down stem or whatever it was,
Yeah.
because I was fucking so hammered. And I just pulled it out and it was just like, and I was just like, and I just like still slurped it, and everyone's just like, you broke it, and I was like, oh, what? Like, I had no idea what was happening.
Jesus.
And it happened twice, though. It happened twice.
Well, and then
Like, after the first time, I'd be like, okay, I fixed it. It should be good.
Wait, on mine it happened
Yeah,
twice?
yeah. You broke your downstem twice.
No.
You got it fixed the first time.
I got it fixed after you did it, but the last time
That's
it
what I'm
broke
saying.
was when I broke it.
Yeah, so it got broke twice.
That was the whole bong. It wasn't the downstem.
Oh, I thought it was a downstem.
No, alright,
So what'd you do to it?
I was moving out and I was like, okay, like this is fragile. I'm gonna pack it in like packing paper, and then I was carrying the box out. My car was on the curb, and I just like placed the box down gently, and the bong shatters. And I was like, well, and I haven't hit a bong since. That was the end of my smoking career.
That's unbelievable.
Alice just shattered, dude.
Alice fucking glass.
And then Crystal Castles broke up. And
Dude, it was the prophecy. Like,
yeah, I predicted
that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah, no, I literally just placed it down on the sidewalk and it broke, and I was like, fuck. Because that was like, I think it was...
Yours was one of the more expensive ones.
Yeah, it was like...
115?
120-ish.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that.
Mine was, I think, 60 or 80.
Yeah,
it
that was like cheaper, but it was just a...
It was a fucking cannon.
It was a fucking
Lucy, dude.
World War I artillery shell gun.
We were like, Tom, fill it up and clear it. And
He's like, I got this, bro.
He's
I
like,
got this.
easy. And he fucking...
He's like,
he tried to hit it, and I've never seen someone cough more in my entire life.
It's like, yo.
He's like, oh, shit. And it burned, like...
The fucking cannon.
Which is
dude.
funny, because, like, I came...
No, wait, so don't you still have it?
Yeah, I 100% do. So I came home that break, and I put it in the
house.
I put it in the middle of my living room, and like walked away, just to be like that college student.
Rebellious.
And my mom was like, "What was that in the living room?" And I was just like, "I proudly smoke weed." And like I told her, and she didn't talk to me for like 48 hours.
You painted your face like the Joker and was like, I smoke weed.
I'm the weeder, baby. But she
Poor
hated
Mary.
me. But now, I mean, she gets it. She gets it.
Dude, I bet she fucking lights up every night.
No.
Yeah.
My mom's never been a fucking...
Oh, no, she does. She's
Even
like,
drinking. She'll have like,
you
wine
don't think
and wine.
your parents...
No,
don't
my dad
smoke
does.
and then...
My dad told me about him smoking in high school. And
Yeah.
he was like, oh, so we had a tech shop, and that was like what he was good at, because I mean he was always good at like fixing shit and stuff.
He's a technical guy.
Right. So he had tech ed, and his friends were like, "Yo, let's light up before tech ed," and he was like, "All right," and then he did, and then the whole class he was just like super paranoid, and I'm like, "You're smoking in class, like you're gonna be paranoid. Like just smoke outside of all of that." Listen to music and have like a fun time. And he was like, no, it made me paranoid. And I'm like, yeah, because you fucking smoked it while you were in school. Because apparently he was like in charge of like signing out tools. And he was just like, yeah, go ahead. He was like, yeah, go ahead, take these tools. And then like when it was time to sign in, he was so high. Like when it was time to sign in, he was just like, I have no idea who took any of these tools.
Just like doesn't even sign his own name.
I was just like, you're doing it wrong. Like that's not how you smoke. Like you smoke and then you
if you aren't already a pothead, then you don't do it.
Right.
When
it was
like
clear,
a responsibility, like under scrutiny of the teacher.
It was clear that he was forced to do it like in class, which is like not when you want to do it.
Yeah, I mean my dad did tons of shit. I mean
your dad's a fucking OG, so I mean
he's done acid, he's done all this stuff. Because my uncle Kevin was the drug man in the family.
We both have Uncle Kev's. Mine's only an alcoholic though, so.
Actually, so is he. Good old Kev. Yeah.
He's an alcoholic and a functional, world's best Irish dance school person.
Oh,
yeah, that Kevin.
Oh, Kevin, not Kev.
Kev. Yeah.
I call him Kevin.
You call him Kevin?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Ryan's taking over, obviously, but Uncle Kevin is
Yeah, dude.
world-renowned Irish dance teacher.
Kevin's the man.
I mean, he's Irish, so obviously he has a drinking problem
And
like
he
the rest
does
of us.
drink. Yeah.
Yeah, every major he's like blackout, and then he'll get like one.
I remember after
He gets like 2 hours of sleep, and then he wakes up and he's just like, "Yeah, I have to watch all these dancers." So, and he does the
I
job.
forget what competition it was, and then someone won, and he's like, because we were all standing there in the crowd. He's like, "Colin, what are you drinking?" And he just like grabbed it out of my hand.
I have video proof of him like being stressed out about it, like hearing the results.
Yeah,
and then they're just like, "First place, Brosel School," and he just fucking chugs a beer like in my camera. And I was like, "This is my family, and I love it."
I love him so much. Yeah, dude.
Which is hilarious that you haven't even decided to date Rihanna yet.
You're just gonna bring that up on the podcast,
Dude?
You
We're
can
just
put me on
talking.
the spot?
It's not even a podcast. We're just
We
talking.
already talked about this last
We're just talking.
week.
We're just talking, dude.
It was a whole thing. She's related to you.
That's not even a thing though, dude.
It isn't anymore, and that's what I.
Which is why I'm glad it's not a thing anymore for you, because that was a problem for both me and Brianna that it was a thing. Like, it was stupid. It was dumb. We're like, why the fuck does it matter that I'm related to Brianna and you want to date her? Like, it shouldn't have mattered ever.
It was weird.
It wasn't ever.
Well, no, because like
it was like intellectuals.
No, because back then, like now she's. That was back when she was younger. We were all younger.
No, you're right. You're not wrong. She's
like
way more comfortable with herself.
That and like it was like in. I mean, they're obviously still a family, but like now, you know what I mean? Like
the whole family's matured.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's different now because she was like your younger cousin.
I consider, whether this affects your opinion or not, Brianna's my sister.
Okay.
Brianna's a sister.
Okay.
Just because of how like often and frequent we hang out.
Yeah.
It's like saying Ryan's my brother. That's obvious.
Yeah.
That's pretty obvious.
You guys they're very close.
Yeah, yeah. More so than my actual sister.
Yeah.
Which is laughable but accurate.
Laughable.
Sorry, Tara.
I don't know. Yeah, so it's... It's things...
Which is what has repelled you from it, but I was never trying to steer you away from doing something you didn't want to do. Like...
Steering me away from something I
didn't want to do? Yeah, I'm saying I always wanted to guide you in the right direction if I had the ability to do so.
Yeah.
So why would I not set you up with my cousin that's like the perfect match for you? And you were just like, no, because it's your cousin. And it was so annoying, dude. It was so annoying.
Yeah, well...
Well, I'm glad you're over it.
That's
because you're over it now.
I am over it.
You're over it now, so that's the...
We'll see it at Rocktis this year.
Yeah.
I'll just be like...
The fountain tells no lie.
Yeah, dude.
Let the fountain do...
Drink from the water. Let's take shots of fountain water this year.
You think I haven't every year? It's what keeps me young.
You scoop up some fountain water. I still have the photos of you dancing on it.
Dude, there's an unbelievable amount of Snapchats of me not being sober at Rocktis last year.
Imagine him not being sober.
Dipping my... Brianna at Tom's party, like, imitated me dipping my beer in the fountain and, like, then solo drinking it without grabbing it. Like, it was, like, the most unbelievable.
It's so sketchy. I mean...
And then I saw it and, like, pointed across the pond, like...
The pond?
That's what it was. It was a fountain, a pond, whatever. Rocktis is a special time of year.
It gets a little rowdy. And wait, when did you pee on the door?
Yeah, that was the first. I mean, it was during Rocktis, but it was the first time.
I wasn't at that one.
Yeah, it was the first time I had ever been.
I couldn't say
No, no, no. This is a real thing. It was the first time I'd ever been had alcohol poisoning.
Okay.
Because I 100% did. Like I woke up the next day, I had a fever, threw up everything that I put in my body, and Tim, Ashley, and Ryan, and Nickel, I believe, went on the streets of Philadelphia, searching for marijuana, so they could purchase it and let me smoke it so that it would settle my stomach.
Yeah.
And they did. They found it at like a train station, bought it off some random guy, and we smoked in their car in a parking structure. And then I was able to eat some Ritz crackers, and I had some red Gatorade, and that was all I was able to keep down.
Yeah.
But after smoking, it was something I could keep down. And then like 3 or 4 hours later, I threw it up. But I mean, I kept it down for the time being, and
so you absorbed some nutrients.
Yeah, no, like there was people were like, oh, like we're having people over in the room, and I was like, oh, sick. And then I was just like, they came over in the room, and I was like, I need to go to the bathroom. Like it was so bad. Like I've never experienced alcohol poisoning until like I've been blackout so many times, but that's not even close to what alcohol poisoning is.
I'm pretty sure I had alcohol poisoning that one, actually, alumni weekend.
Did you actually?
The one when, with, what's his face?
With Bobby Crablegs?
Yeah, with Bobby Crablegs. I was pretty sick.
Yeah, we were both fucking...
Well, I mean, we both got sick, but I was more...
Yeah, I was just like...
I
was hyperbolic, and you were fucking...
Pretty... Well, no, because I can like, hold myself, but the next day, I was just puking all day. We both puked, because I remember, I was just like... I went into the toilet, and I start puking, and then, like, Greg comes in, and I was like...
Greg
what?
Jacob?
No, you.
Oh, me. Okay.
I'm talking to the audience.
Ah.
Greg comes in, and I'm just like, oh, what's up? And then you're just like, like right next to me.
I have no recollection of that.
Yeah, and then I start throwing up more, and we were throwing up in the same toilet.
What? Dude, I wish I remember that.
Yeah. It was like instant, because I was still feeling sick, but I just couldn't, like, get it out.
Yeah.
And you were like, you didn't say anything. You were just like,
yeah, because I was fucking still blackout, and I don't remember doing that.
Like, I watched it, I was just like, and Christina was just like, Jesus Christ. But yeah, I was sick that whole day. It was probably that and at Danielle's, when I like literally couldn't stop throwing up. We had to wait till like 4 p.m. like the next day, like everyone was gone to drive back.
I mean,
it was probably those 2 times where I was the most sick to my stomach.
Yeah.
But
I think that was, like I said, that was the only time I ever had like a literal like.
So was that when you peed on the door?
Yeah, 100%. The night before, I was just like, because I knew Peter Ryan was hooking up with a girl, unnamed. I know who she is, in our bathroom. And I didn't want to blow up his spot. So I was just like, I don't know who's in the bathroom. Like, as I'm peeing on the door because I can't hold it in. And they're just like, Greg, what are you doing? And I'm like, just peeing on the door. And I knew Peter Ryan was in the bathroom. And they kept asking me who was in the bathroom. And I was like, Ryan Brosler. And they're just like, no, I'm Ryan Brosler. And they're like, Ryan Dart. And I'm like, no, Ryan Dart's over here. And then I was like...
like, in your mind, you're protecting him.
Yeah,
like...
no, I honestly was.
But wait, was he in there with the girl?
I was like, oh, Tim Ryan. And it's like, Tim's recording this video right now. And Peter Ryan was in there with Sam.
No, we don't need to say last name.
Yeah, Sam was in there with Sam. Not Lockie's girlfriend, but the better Sam.
Rough. Rough truth.
But because I was so drunk, I knew she was in there. So I was just like, I just need to pee real quick. And so I fucking pissed.
Why didn't you just...
I guess I pissed over but it was dry the next morning because it was all water. Just because I was that drunk and I peed already so many times. So it was just.
Oh, it's fine, guys.
It was just fucking pure water. It was like my
pee all over.
It was like my Oban Pain fucking pee, where it was just like it brought me out of a blackout.
Perrier.
Dude, nothing will top the Oban Pain fucking pee where Nickel helped me come out of a blackout. I peed for 5 minutes straight at least, and I still had to pee so bad. And then people were banging on the door. They're just like, "You've been in there for 5 minutes." And I was like, I'm still peeing. And I had to hold back and stop. Like, I still had to pee so bad. And I held back and stopped.
There's no way a human bladder is that large.
Dude, you don't understand. It brought me out of a blackout. That's how bad I had to pee. I've never had to pee more in my entire life.
That's like a crisis situation.
No, dude, it was like my body was like, emergency, emergency. And then I peed for 5 minutes straight. Still had to pee so bad. And they were just like, get out of the bathroom, get out. And I was like, oh.
Is there like one stall in the whole restaurant?
It was one bathroom for the whole restaurant. It was a line that went through half of the restaurant. Ask Nickel. It was unbelievable.
Wait, no. So we've never gone over this part. Is why there's so many people waiting for a bathroom.
Dude, everyone had to go. Everyone had to go. It was in the middle of New York City in the middle of the winter. Everyone had to fucking go to the bathroom. I don't know. But it was unbelievable.
Why are there that many people?
Like I said, I was borderline squatting, and I came out of a blackout, like squatting, and I was like, any move, and I'll fucking piss my pants. And I power squatted for a half hour waiting in line in Oban Pain, this fucking soup kitchen store.
Everyone just needed to pee because they're eating soup.
Dude, I went in, and I'm not even joking. I peed for at least 5 minutes straight. And I was still going, like hard piss. And they're like, get out of the bathroom, you've been in there for 5 minutes. And I'm like, oh. And I had to, pull back. And I still had to go so bad, but I had to pull back and get out just because the line was so long. As soon as I got out, I re-blacked out. And that's apparently I led a whole chase to Grand Central.
I remember this.
Ryan and them were just like, oh, we have to go this way to Grand Central to catch the train. And me and Lockie and Nickel, I was just like, this way! And I don't remember it at all. And we just started sprinting in the opposite direction of everyone else. And they're just like, what are they fucking doing? And then as the train is coming, we just convene at Grand Central.
Somehow.
Yeah, and I just knew the route. It didn't even make sense. But I never had to pee. I've never had to pee more in my entire life.
Do you need to pee now? Is that where you're going? No.
Yeah, I'm obviously holding it super easy because
he's hovering over me.
So right now
I'm on the couch. He's hovering over the back.
A 1 to 10 right now is a 5.5. I have to pee, obviously.
Oban Pain was 11.
No, Oban Pain was that. I've never experienced a 9.5, 10. It brought me out of a blackout. There's been nothing. I've had a 9 or an 8 once or twice before, and it's been pretty close. But I've always managed to fucking piss, thankfully.
All right, well now it's a one-man show. How's everyone doing? This is this is Beyond the Ox ASMR. So just go. Yeah. We're just gonna hang out. Oh no, we gotta give them content. He's telling me to take a breather. We're not taking a breather. Breathe in. Breathe out. Relaxing. We're relaxing. He's been peeing for a long time. He pees for a long time. Oh yeah, he's done now. Now I understand what he's saying when he's being for
stop.
5 minutes.
Stop. It's too scary. Stop.
No, I'm just doing ASMR.
No, we're not an ASMR
Oh,
stream.
too late. All right.
We are not ASMR. I will never accept it.
You want to be a thought? You got to do ASMR, dude.
I mean, that's not wrong. Dude.
So, so let's talk about
Let's hear it.
this whole. Well, we just talked about it, but now we're on a podcast.
Did I tell you about the entire details of the now that can be public officially
Oh,
my
no.
trial?
You said it was second-degree murder.
Yeah, so there were two.
That's it.
It was a double trial.
Two murderers.
Yeah, it was potentially two murderers. It was both of them were accused of 4 counts. They were both accused of second-degree murder, second-degree conspiracy, and 2 different gun charges.
Okay.
Um,
Was it gang related or no?
No.
Was it like domestic?
no, it was. So what happened was,
Okay.
spoilers. The shooting happened right next to Millhouse Brewery.
Oh, really?
Yeah, about a year ago, November, 3 a.m. Garden Street Cafe, which is the street behind Millhouse, is Garden Street,
Yeah.
and they intersect. So there's like there was a Snapchat party going on.
Wait,
So-
well, what's a Snapchat party?
It literally
People Snapchatting?
yeah, it has nothing to do with anything, dude. Like
No.
anyone was it's not even.
No. What's this? They had to have explained what a Snapchat party is as part of the.
Nope, nothing was explained with the Snapchat.
I need to Google.
They were
this.
just like, "Oh, it's a party."
Nope. All right. Pause the story because
And
that's the first
the
time
main
I've
the
ever
main
heard it.
people
No.
were getting there at like 2 a.m. though. It was like a late thing.
Snapchat party ideas.
I mean, it was hood as fuck. Like, don't get me wrong. It was a
how to
snap.
start your first Snapchat party?
No! Don't stop looking it up because
No, I'm fucking interested.
Okay.
So this is where
Okay.
we gotta go on tangents.
I mean,
What the fuck's blab?
I've never heard that, so I don't know what that is. But it was a Snapchat party.
Snapchat house party shooting in Houston.
No, it was Poughkeepsie.
Snapchat's big plan to turn Snapchat into a gaming platform. Bitmoji party?
Maybe.
What the fuck is a Snapchat party? What do you do?
Yeah, fucking here.
What's with the controller? It's just holding.
No, it's just holding it. Yeah. Just because I've received requests that you haven't spoken up as much as you need to. So
Well, I think.
yeah, no, you're fucking weak as fuck.
I mean,
Okay, so what happened? What happened was that they went to this Snapchat party at Garden Street Cafe at 3 a.m. ish.
I'm still kind of hung up about
The
it. but we'll
accused
continue.
went up to the bar and moved over the victim's drink to be at the bar.
Yeah.
The victim was obviously disturbed by that and started talking at the accused.
Okay.
There's video evidence of them going back and forth, leaning in each other's ears. And then the accused slides a stool out of the way between the two of them to like talk closer to him.
Yeah.
And then not even 10 seconds later, the victim throws a big left hook at him, hits him square in the face, and a brawl in the entire club goes off. The victim and 2 of his friends beating up on this guy with dreads. He's by himself. He doesn't have anyone else.
The victims are beating the guy
The
up.
victims are beating the guy up. They grab chairs and start beating the guy up. And he gets thrown out of the club, right?
Okay.
And there's people in the club still trying to calm this guy down, the victim.
Yeah.
Still trying to calm him down. And then there's video of the accused, his friend that was also in the club that was not involved in the fight, leaving the club. He gets in a car, a red Dodge Magnum, which is pretty, not rare these days. Or no, sorry, super rare these days.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he gets in a red Dodge Magnum, drives him. There, we follow the car route via street cameras in
Oh wow,
Poughkeepsie.
we have street cameras in Poughkeepsie?
No, but it's like there was only 2 street cameras that were funded by the city of Poughkeepsie, but the rest were gathered
Building
via
stores and shit.
private cameras that were gathered. So we see them go off camera for about they drive around and go south for about 10 minutes, 7 minutes, until they come back on the same road and come back around into Garden Street Cafe. This is so weird to say just because I heard north, south, all the directions and everything said was just so. It's weird to be repeating it. So he came around onto they passed the Garden Street Cafe, crossed over the arterial,
Yeah.
and parked up the road there where there's diagonal parking.
Yeah.
And they started walking back towards Garden Street Cafe. So the idea was that they had went to this driver's house, got guns, and came back.
Okay.
Parked up the street away from the cafe and started walking back. And so they started walking back. There's a camera showing them walking back in great detail. And once they get past that camera on Garden Street, you cannot see that second guy that was the driver. You can only see the guy that was hooded at that point. He crosses the street to go to confront the guy he lost the fight to originally.
Are we talking about Mr. Robot hooded or Zodiac Killer hooded?
No,
he had a hoodie on?
Like there's a camera on a parking lot, and we had to amplify the top right corner of it.
Magnify it.
We had to magnify the top right corner of it to see this guy in a hoodie walking across.
Okay, so it was a hoodie.
Walking across the arterial, yeah.
It wasn't an execution.
And it was also confirmed by the defense that it was him. So that was proof enough, So he as he walks across the middle of the street, you see a little pause, and you see a car chase him out of that intersection. The car turns to the right, trying to run this guy over, and pulls onto the arterial in the right lane.
Yeah.
Turns left, pulls on the arterial, tries to run him over. As soon as that happens, the main guy that instigated the fight originally gets out of the car on the driver's side, walks to the back of the car. As he does, the guy that almost got ran over turns around and faces them.
Pops him.
As the guy gets to the back of the car, shoots 3 shots that you can see muzzle flashes of on the video. Not clearly, I might add, at all. Not clearly at all. Very questionable whether or not he was the one that fired the shots, but you see 3 muzzle flashes with a blur that coincides with his blur going off the front right side of the car, going back around the Mill Street sign. Fires 3 shots. He drops on the first shot, and then him and the person he was working with that helped drive him in the Dodge Magnum, which we see the guy in the Magnum way ahead of him running back to the car.
Yeah.
And then him running behind him. And so there was 3 casings of .40 caliber bullets found, kind of behindish that Mill Street sign, And then on the other side of the road, on the east side, there was 3 casings of .45 caliber bullets found. So it was
So
like,
what was?
but there was no view of that second guy shooting at all from any angle.
Yeah, but what caliber was the body?
The bullet that killed the person was a .40 caliber.
Okay.
So it was that right around the sign.
The
closer one was the .40 caliber that we could kind of attribute
guy?
that we could the
with the most certainty out of everything.
The whole like idea, I guess, in this case is or in any case is beyond reasonable doubt.
Yeah.
So beyond reasonable doubt, it was
him
that shot and killed him.
Okay. So the other guy just missed all the shots.
But did the other guy shoot at all? So
where'd the casings come from?
So we reviewed the video multiple times over, and there was 2 other people in the car that tried to run over the initial guy that shot.
Okay, so
there was the driver. There was the guy that got shot was back left that got out,
and then 2 other.
And there was a passenger that we didn't see get out until way later. And we think there might be an actual 4th person that was unidentified throughout the entire case that got out, fired retaliatory shots up the street, came back, tried to drag the body of the victim to get him in the car, couldn't lift him because he's an over 300-pound guy, and got back in the car and drove off. So the reason that they couldn't find that car that drove off, which is crazy to me because that's like a super important key to the entire case.
And it's not like we're that big.
Because it was like a black Accord or something stupid. Like it was such a popular car that it like didn't check out to so many people, which was like a big oversight, a very big oversight. Because so it was like there was 2 testimonies. From people that people that were in front of the Garden Street Cafe,
so
looking north,
see, like up
into that intersection. Right. There was 2 people, 2 girls that were together that night. The first girl, who was the passenger in the car of the 2 girls, said that she saw the shooter on the left side of Garden. This is looking north, right? You're looking across the arterial.
Yeah.
She saw on the left side of Garden where the .40 caliber shells were placed. She saw that person shoot and run away. She did not see anyone else on that street at all. Okay. Her friend said that she saw somebody she saw the guy that reported shooting, but she didn't see him shooting on the left side of the street.
Yeah.
Looking north on Garden, and she saw a guy on the right side of the street that shot and killed her friend. She was the only person that knew the victim.
Okay.
So she saw a person shoot from the right side of the street that hit him, and I mean the evidence clearly shows that I mean. From that side of the street were the .45 calibers.
Yeah.
So the .40s killed him.
Yeah.
So and it was clear like the angle of entry to his body was like not from the right side of the street.
Yeah.
So it wasn't the guy that she saw shoot.
Yeah.
But it was like her testimony was just like it was crazy because I was pretty sure of like who had done the crime up until that point, and she was like, "Oh, I saw this guy shoot," and then they were like the state attorneys were like, "Can you point that guy out in this room?" And she pointed out the fucking second guy that was driving the Magnum, and we were just like, I was like, "Oh fuck!" Like if she saw him shoot, then what does that mean? You know, there's, because that would explain the .45s. Even if he missed, he's still shooting.
Yeah, so he's still attempting.
But so all we have is. There's a video capture from that is zoomed in because it's super far out.
So it's like
from this one angle where you can see the driver's side of the car that tries to run him over, pulls up, he gets out of the driver's side, you see him walk and fall down. And so, and you can kind of see, it's super hard, but you can kind of see 3 muzzle flashes that coincide with the .40 caliber bullets.
Yeah.
So it's like, you can see, and as I said, the defense was like, oh, this is my client that almost got ran over by this car. So you know that that's the first guy, like firing shots at the people that tried to run him over, almost. But there's absolutely no view of a second shooter.
Yeah.
There's a camera that's up that street more where you can see them you can see them walking towards it, and then the kill camera has absolutely no view of a second person. It's just the one guy that walks across and gets almost ran over. Ask questions.
So both of them were on trial, though?
Yes, for the same crimes.
And they both...
So by law, if you aid in
murder,
if you aid in the murder that's accused of, or if you can commit that murder yourself, you're just as guilty as the person that committed the murder. Okay.
So because he attempted.
So we had from our original from our original videos, we found the first guy. One of the first things that we found was the first guy was guilty of second-degree murder.
Yeah. And
he was responsible for the .40 caliber bullets.
Yeah.
So he was charged with that gun charge.
Yeah.
Okay. So the next idea was that either we can prove conspiracy, which has to prove that there was.
But wouldn't it be them going back to get the guns to shoot the guy?
Exactly. So you would have to prove. So the judge was very clear. There was 3 parts that you had to prove conspiracy. The first part was that they were in tandem with somebody else to do the act.
Yeah.
The second part was individual. What's the word? Not motive, but starts with an I. Not motive, but
I can't think of it right now.
Not motive, but
intention.
Intent. Individual intent was the second part of conspiracy, and they're both charged with conspiracy.
Okay.
So it was literally conspiring to commit the act.
Yeah.
Was one. Second was individual intent to commit a second-degree murder. It's not to commit any kind of harm. It's to commit the crime that you've been charged with.
Yeah.
And the third part was, you have to be convicted of one of the overt acts that support that conspiracy. And so the overt acts, he listed the overt acts, which was surprising, which was like driving him away from the scene, like walking with him to help him, like all these things that he did to help him. So that was like super easy to prove.
Mm-hmm.
So we were like, but like the language wasn't clear when we first heard it. So like one of the actually, she was actually a super smart girl. When we first heard it, she thought that the overt acts had an influence on all 3 of the things that we had to.
Yeah, but it was
actually only the third thing, and then the other 2 were independent of those overt acts.
Okay.
Right. So we went in. We had to hear the law, because when you want to hear something over again, you have to write out what you want to hear. You have to give the slip to the court officer. He gives it to the judge, and they have to bring literally everyone that's involved in the case back in the room, which it honestly took hours. It took hours. It probably took 2 hours to like fulfill our request.
Yeah. We
came back in the room. He had to read the law to us again, which is like his 3rd time reading this specific part of the law. But it's not easy. It's kind of confusing. So we were all like, everyone fucking pay attention, so you know what this conspiracy charge is for, because it has to meet 3 requirements. So then after that, we were all pretty you know, read up on the law that there had to be individual intent and there had to be clear evidence that there was some conspiring like for the act beforehand.
Yeah.
But so we decided that there wasn't enough evidence to say that the drive that they had from the club to potentially his house, we didn't know where they went, potentially his house that was in range, and back to the club, they conspired murder.
Yeah.
They could have conspired to harm him, to go back and fight him, but you had to prove that it was murder that they conspired to. So we couldn't prove that. So we said,
giving the benefit of the doubt.
no. I mean, we had to go on the proof that they had, and I was a major proponent of that. So we ended up saying that they were both not guilty of conspiracy in the second degree, but the fact that the second guy, there was reasonable doubt that he had fired the second weapon with the .45 caliber, because it could have been, there was testimony to support retaliatory shots, so it could have been the guy that we couldn't see, like that the car was blocking him firing retaliatory shots, and where the bullet casings landed supported more retaliatory shots than him firing at a car. He would have had to have been in camera view to commit that.
Yeah.
So it was like this whole thing, and we went back and forth on that a lot. That and the conspiracy. Like I said, the people I was with were like super smart and super like good natured. I'm really glad, like, because we weren't allowed to talk about anything about the case for a whole week and a half.
Yeah.
They'd be like, all right. They'd be like, oh, go back in your go. Yeah, they're like, go back in the room, and we would just bullshit for a week and a half, and they were just like chill people that were like super cool. But once we actually did get into deliberation, it was fucking back and forth, dude. I was very surprised as to how like crazy all our opinions were not lining up, and because there was, I mean, it was like getting to the point of reasonable doubt, getting beyond that.
Yeah.
So we had gotten
reasonable.
Right, exactly. We had gotten beyond reasonable doubt for the first shooter that had, like, you see the muzzle flashes.
Yeah.
He's on camera the entire time before you see the muzzle flashes. So he's clearly the killer with the .40 caliber. There's a .40 caliber found in the body. And this one older lady who's like super bright too, and she was just like, I have a hard time like saying that was him. You could have switched. It could have been the other guy that like was in the picture, like. But it was like we understand that there's doubt. There's going to be doubt.
But it has to be reasonable.
But it has to be beyond a reasonable doubt. Do you have something beyond a reasonable doubt? And she's like, no, I don't.
So then
and I think that's like the biggest thing that was like super hard for all of us, dude. It was honestly one of the, once we were deciding on the actual charges, going around the room being like, we are unanimous on this, and this is going to be our verdict. It was like, we had to vote, and it was like, we went through all 8 charges, 4 per person, and it was like, do you find him guilty of second-degree murder? And we all had to raise our hands, and it was sinking in at that point for me. I was just like, we're about to decide somebody's life for the next how many decades. We don't get to hear the sentencing, but it could be for so long. Like, and when we eventually decided unanimously on all of the, we decided to do, both of them were guilty of second-degree murder.
Yeah.
The first one because we could, deduce that he actually pulled the gun and killed the first person. The second one was because of he assisted the person in committing the murder, and that's still draws the same charge. And the first person, we also decided that he got charged with the .40 caliber gun charge, but we couldn't prove that the second person had the .45. We didn't know if it was retaliatory, so we couldn't charge him with that. So it was 3 charges, both guilty of second degree murder. The first guy guilty of .40 caliber gun possession, but it was the whole deliberation up until then was super great, I guess, because everyone there was like a super like smart and aware, and they were just like we were all voicing our opinions, and it was like an actual debate, like it was like crazy back and forth, like of people arguing their views and stuff, and it was like that's like what you want from that. That's what the judge wants when he picks jurors like that, you know. So it makes sense. But then like when we actually had to decide the verdict, it was I've never experienced some kind like any kind of emotion like that in my entire life. It was like it was empathy with the defendants and the people that are sitting in the gallery. It was like the weight of our collective decision deciding somebody's entire life. It was a combination of like holding in emotions for an entire 2.5 weeks. It was so many things like all stacked up, and we went around the room and we were just like guilty, 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 not guilty, not guilty, not guilty, and we went around. And when we went back in the courtroom because we have to notify the court police that we had a verdict, so we sent them a letter and we were just like, we have a verdict. And it was right at the end of the day too. We could have
the whole thing is so weird,
dude. It's crazy. It's fucking crazy. We sent them the letter. We were like, we have a verdict. The judge read it, and he called us in. We went in. We gave him our verdict sheet. He read it. He gave it back to us so he could read it live. And then he was like, it just started out. It was just like, do you find the defendant Terry Cherry guilty of second-degree murder? And we were just, or how do you find him? And we were just like, guilty. And this one lady in the audience was just like, oh, hell no. And she gets up and slams the fucking, like, where she was sitting, and gets out and fucking slams the door. And there was police, and they had, like, first of all, there was only a couple of police the whole week.
Yeah.
They doubled down on police when we had reached a verdict. They, like, waited and then got, like, mad police in there. And she opened the door and slammed the fucking door. She was like, oh, fuck. And they're like, you need to get out of here. Like, all the, like, it was fucking crazy, dude.
To show emotion.
No, but, like, the foreman for our jurors was chosen at random. It was just the first guy that happened to get chosen. Yeah. It was crazy. So he was just, like, guilty. And it was when I say that every single juror, all 12 of us, were either crying or shaking. It was like the emotions. I've never experienced something like that before, and I was holding back real bad. And then the defense has the ability to appeal and ask for everyone's individual agreement as to our verdict.
Yeah.
So they were like, oh, well, we request the individual verdict. So every single person in the jury had to say, yes, we agree with the verdict that we came upon. And it was, some people were just like, had to wait a second and like,
yeah,
it was fucking, dude. It was,
themselves. Yeah,
it was, and like, why are they crying? Like, it's like, you don't, we're sending somebody to jail for probably their entire life. Like,
yeah.
They're like, if you don't have empathy, you don't understand. Like, maybe you don't understand, but I don't. It was. Did they do what they did and they deserve it? Sure, but can you still feel bad about it? Absolutely. Like it was unbelievable.
And
I've never.
This because some guy moved a drink 6 inches. On a bar,
and then it was a dick measuring competition after that.
Yeah.
And it's unbelievable. Like It's
crazy,
it's so fucking crazy, dude. I've never had to make a decision that was like I said, everything was like the debating back and forth, like what we thought was evidence that was truthful, what was not, was like we went back and forth hard, and we were like, yo, we were split way more than I thought we'd be. I thought like people were gonna be on my side and they were like against me, and I was like, well, I have to convince them now that this is what I see.
Boomers, dude.
No, but it wasn't even. I mean, yeah, but it wasn't even that though. And then once we all like met, we it's weird. It's really weird because we all unanimously agreed upon the verdict, but we all didn't want to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We all understood that it was our job. Like that's your job when you're a juror, is to make that decision. But it's never an easy decision in that kind of like scenario. And the judge came in after the case. He was like, I just want to I want to talk to you guys. And he's like, it's always gut wrenching. These kind of cases, it's like a murder case. He's like, domestic abuse cases, rape cases. He's like, it's so hard to find jurors for this because so many people are, sensitive to that topic. So when you do find jurors, it's going to take a mental toll on everyone that's involved,
Yeah, dude.
But it's like, he's like, that's the beauty of being a free country, is that those people that's their job, is to do that. And it's just like, it hit home for me so bad, and I was just like, I never saw it like that, but it makes total sense. But it was, dude, I'm super grateful that I went through with it, that I actually was part of the process, because it was like, unlike all the stuff you see on TV, obviously, it was super different from that.
Yeah.
But just like, alone, the emotions that I went through to like get through the whole thing were just, there's nothing else that's ever done that in my entire life for me. And so I'm super grateful to, I hate to be the person that sends someone to jail for their entire life, but if somebody has to do it, I'm glad I got to experience it. I don't know how else to describe it. It was, like I said, it was super weird.
Yeah.
I had to go to work after that, and I was just sobbing. I was just sobbing in my car the whole way. And I got there, and like literally everyone knew I was in jury duty for 3 weeks. So they're like, "Oh, is he guilty?" And I was just like, and I was just crying. And they're just like, "Oh shit!" Like they didn't realize, like, it was tough. It was tough. We got escorted out the back entrance of the courthouse with the police to, and they escorted us all the way to the parking structure just to ensure that like we were okay, So it was. If anyone, which I think is the main point. The judge, he answered any questions that we had, but he was like, we were like, oh, the jury process, blah blah blah, and he was like, the main thing is that I don't want people that don't want to be here, which totally makes sense, It doesn't matter what excuse you're making up. If you clearly don't want to be there, then he's not going to keep you there.
Yeah.
But he wants people that want to decide, want to be part of the jury. So that kind of makes sense to me. So that he's one of the best. I guess there's some judge rating review board. I don't know what it's called. He mentioned it, but he has like an over 95% of his all of his decisions are recorded by obviously the stenographer in the court, and everything gets reviewed by this one board that decides whether or not he was just and his objections or like sustains and all that stuff. And he said he's only had like one thing ever be like wrong, but he's always had like a over 95% like approval rating. Like he's like a great judge, and he's like, my job is like, you think of a judge being like, oh, the deciding factor, but he polices the courtroom.
Yeah.
Like the defendants versus the people, that they're the ones that are arguing and stuff, and he's just like, all right, you're not allowed to say that. All right, calm down here. And he makes sure that we hear everything that we need to hear, and nothing more, nothing less. And he was a great judge. He explained everything that he needed to. He censored everything that he needed to. It was a super good experience. I don't know how else to put it, but I am really glad that I got shows for it. I'll never experience anything else like that in my entire life.
I got summoned, but then I never got called in because I was like last on the list.
Yeah, and I hear like a lot of people that do get called in, they settle like the next day, or like it's a civil case and they never hear anything. Like,
you just got stuck with
I got fucking lucky with a 3-week murder trial, dude.
Yeah,
It was We had to comb through everything, and it was.
So
I'll never forget that experience.
I'll
ever.
never forget Jury Girl.
Dude, she was so attractive.
So describe her to me, because
She was blonde hair, circle glasses, but rose colored. Probably didn't need them. She's an RN. Imagine she listens to this podcast. She's an RN at Mount Sinai, so she takes the train down every day.
okay.
But she works night shift, so it was like she also went to work after that, like I did. You know,
So she's
graduated last year,
just a little.
and she was super emotional too. Like we were all like really involved in like the decision making process.
Yeah.
But like she's like, oh, I cry like when anything happens. So like when we were actually like voicing our verdict, she was just like, she almost couldn't say yes because she was crying so hard, and like it was
Cute.
And the person next to her like took longer than her, which is like an older lady. Her name's Christina. I remember her, short hair. But it was weird. It's such a weird feeling. Like everyone in the audience thinks that you're trying to like intentionally convict that person, but that's not how it is. You're just doing your job. And it feels bad when you actually come to that conclusion that, yeah, this guy is actually guilty, even though there is, because like I said, you have to get beyond reasonable doubt. Especially in this case, there was not a lot of evidence. There was a lot of doubt.
Yeah.
There was a lot of doubt. So there were, like, a bunch of us were just like, there's a lot of doubt, and but we have to decide. You know, it was scary. It was weird, dude. I've never experienced anything like that. I was choked up real bad. And like all the people there was some person in the audience that was just like, why are they crying? It's like, because we fucking care about what we're doing here.
Yeah.
Like, imagine if we didn't have empathy and we're just like, yeah, fuck him, guilty, you know, doesn't even matter. Like, then they wouldn't have picked that kind of person to begin with, you know?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was a great experience. I'm not going to say it was a bad experience, but I've never experienced something like that before, and I definitely, if someone's at least interested in doing jury duty, you know, what do you have to lose? Just fucking do it.
Grimothy judicial bombs.
Yeah.
So that's a thing.
Yeah, so that's what I went through for the past 2.5, 3 weeks. Yeah, I kind of wanted to sleep more, but I didn't have to go to my job afterwards, but I did just to make sure everything was kosher.
What an overachiever, dude. You should have just
Dude, kind of had to, dude.
It was nice having you sleeping in a normal hour. Semi-normal.
No, I know, yeah. I'm sure it was. I don't know if there's a position that I could get for day shift without being like, the one I want is weekend shift, because it's 4/10s. It's 4/10s, and it's Friday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday,
and
then you're off 3 days.
Yeah.
Which is pretty good. Right?
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't know.
That'd be sick, dude.
Yeah, no. Not available right now.
But like, it's just so much easier to me having a schedule like that, because like I can stay longer any day, but it's like having extra days, like you might as well just block the time together and then have a whole day off.
See, for me, it's like
I'd rather have 3 days off.
Oh no, same. I obviously would rather have 3 days off.
instead of 8-hour days, you just have 10-hour days.
Yeah, that was my last.
Actually,
My last job was 4 10s, and it was the best schedule I've ever had.
like 2 more hours is like nothing. Like,
But it's production for my pharmaceutical company is Sunday nights is the busiest, and then Monday through Thursday is the rest. Like, there's nothing. There's no like changing how every single pharmacy like submits their orders. You know what I mean? It's not like it's up to me or anything.
yeah.
But even because I'd have to take I have to take somebody's day shift away from them. And the weekend person's in charge of like 7 or 8 people, which isn't bad. I'm in charge of like 22 right now,
Nice.
but like less than 10 would be so nice.
No.
It'd be so much easier. And then but dude, fucking
Imagine working for a company like a capitalist.
dude, I almost have like a fucking office job. Like, that's what I feel like, you know?
Well, I mean, you have an office now, so that's pretty close.
Yeah. My goal is to fucking never be a 9 to 5 farmer pleb.
That's what you're gonna be.
No.
You're gonna be a middle manager
No.
at a pharmaceutical.
No.
Yeah.
No.
You're gonna have to write out emails, and you'll make typos.
Dude, I've read out
anyway.
emails all the time, dude.
You'll make
It
typos.
has nothing to do with it.
anyway, because no one knows how to write.
Dude, that's actually super true. Like,
It's like typos
from the get-go, they were just like, oh, he's super good at writing emails. And I was like, I'm barely writing emails.
I can speak English.
I was like, this is 3rd grade English. Like,
people are terrible.
even my boss is
Yeah.
like, exclamation point, da 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 da. And I'm like, who's proofreading these? Like, nobody.
Yeah, like my boss is
It's
the same
bad.
thing.
And then he's like, oh, Greg is great at emails. I'm like, I'm passable. I'm not great. Like,
people are-
you're terrible.
Spelling shit. I'm like, come on.
It's
dude.
just grammar. Nobody has any sense of grammar, dude.
They're fucking.
Nobody has any sense of grammar.
So like,
And
alright.
it only matters like in the context of your workspace.
Yeah.
Like, if everyone else has terrible grammar, then it's like passable that you have terrible grammar.
Yeah. Like, I go through all the internal notes at my job, and everything's just like. I get that they're typing fast, but like I type fast too, and I can make complete sentences.
Yeah.
They're just misspelling like all this shit, and I'm like, Jesus.
They're pretty terrible.
People are bad, dude. They're bad at
Dude,
the
that's
game.
what I'm saying. Like, it's not a big deal.
So yeah, so
Like, you're already above average,
So-
and everyone knows that. Everyone knows that.
So I hate my job. Everyone knows that too. And so today I get a call from my manager, and I'm like, all right, they're finally firing me, dude. I'm like, yeah. I'm like,
Does she give you a promotion?
here it comes. And then she's like, oh yeah, the director of the department like selected you for like a new like photo, we're giving you like new photo equipment, and we want you to like travel around the country. I'm like, wait a minute.
No
I'm like, wait a
way.
Because she's like, because you're so good. I'm like, wait a minute.
No way, dude.
I have to like, I'm gonna fucking,
Are you gonna do it?
no, I'm gonna fucking stick a firework up my ass and blow myself up. Because I can't handle this. I started fucking like crying, laughing in my car after. Because like, I don't want to be there so much. And there's like, oh, like, she's like, oh, you gotta tell me what you, like, it's coming in the mail. It's like all this stuff. I'm like, no. I was like, please don't send it back. I might not be
Do
here.
you at least like feel like
No.
good that you're like the top of the fucking
No.
No?
Like, it was unbelievable. It was like the
Oh
fucking,
my god.
the cherry on top of my
So wait,
entire week.
I know
And-
she shadowed you yesterday, right?
No, she didn't. because
Oh my god.
so I'm like, oh fuck, I'm gonna have my manager with me. Like I've met her once earlier this year.
She sounds like a trash hole.
She's nice, but she's incompetent.
Okay.
So she had a meeting planned where she comes to my market, and it was supposed to be Thursday. So I'm like, all right, I'm all prepared to have someone with me. And the morning of, I like wake up at 6:15 or whatever, and I like look at my work phone and I see a text, and she's like, "Oh, I gotta call it off today," and I'm like, "Oh, great." Like I just went through all that anxiety, and that's not even happening. Because the last time she was supposed to do that, she also called it off.
Classic.
But it's like, well, no, but I found out on Friday. She's like, yeah, she's like, the key to my car, the battery died, and I had to Uber to the office. And I was late, so I wouldn't make it on time. And I was like, Jesus Christ.
What?
I'm like, I'm cursed. So now it's rescheduled for later this month. And I don't even know what we're going to do.
Dude, they're gonna send you around the country.
No. Well, she's like, do you want to do it? And I was like, no. I guess there's like certain markets where they don't have enough good people to do the media shoots.
Dude, that's like proof you're better than like.
No, it is, but I don't
like people across the country.
I don't want to be. I don't want to be
anything other than lately. I mean, I don't blame you.
How's my ass, dude?
Jason, my ass.
It was just bad because, like, these people don't know. Like, I had the roughest week in a long time, anxiety-wise.
True.
I was awake for 50 hours straight. I started hallucinating.
Enough said.
It was pretty crazy, dude.
Yeah. This is what Beyond the Ox is founded upon was.
Oh yeah. I love working for another
existential
person.
Realism is our
creating
core
revenue for people I don't know.
Dude, that's honestly
our shareholders.
Dude, the biggest problem with me and corporate culture is the fact that the only way you move up, you can move up being like a good person or whatever, but like your main role when you do move up is creating more wealth for the people above you. That's like your goal. That's your main job. And I think that's so fucking stupid.
It is, dude.
It's so dumb.
It is, dude. Down with the fucking system.
My God. And the guy that's in charge of my entire DC is like, he's like trying to condition me into being like,
like
I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. He's like, oh, you should like. If you run into somebody you've never met before, like you should like go out of your way to like be like, hey, my name's Greg.
Absolutely
and like,
not.
He's like, develop your brand, and I'm just like, I don't give a fuck.
I hate people like that.
It's so bad, dude.
People who are
like
always
he's like honestly, he's one of the best. Like, because I've worked for a bunch of terrible people, and he's like super way better than everyone else.
Yeah.
Which is reflected in like all of the people that are hired in our facility, which is why we have one of the best facilities in the entire country. Don't get me wrong, upper management does that well, but I'm saying like, them reaching into the corporate spectrum is like so off-putting to me. It's so bad, and I don't even want to hear anything about it. And I know there's so many emails that I get that I'm just like, delete instantly, where I could easily be reading up on fucking,
dude.
People in the spotlight. Like, I don't give a fuck.
All that bullshit's dumb.
It's so bad, dude. I just want to work at a record store, doing nothing. For
like
the
if
rest of my
someone
life.
on my team, like my manager, is like she like, I don't know, publicly praises people like every so often.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, like look at this shot, isn't this good?
But
And then, like,
they're being told to do that.
Yeah, and then everyone on the team replies to everyone, like reply all, and they're like, oh, great shot, Lori. And I never say anything because I'm like, I would fucking kill myself.
Oh my god.
It's shit.
That's the culture though, is that because like it's so dumb, dude. Yeah, it is. It's like not presented to me as kissing ass, but it's just like being involved in the conversation at all. And it's just like it's so off-putting.
God, dude.
Like I have no desire to go further than where I am right now.
God. My company needs to be burned to the ground.
I hope.
I'm waiting to get my hands on fucking like information that I can whistleblow it out of existence.
Dude, that'd be sick.
I wish, dude.
As like Bernie gets elected, you're just like whistleblowing your fucking.
I mean, our CEO is fucking crazy, so
just buying Teslas for like
terrible.
Mad people.
Yeah, buying Teslas and shit, like all the shit we don't need.
It doesn't even make sense.
And we're just making more acquisitions. I don't even know.
I mean, those are. I mean, I guess
it's like a wild. It's like a pirate ship going down a ski slope. Like that's what I described it as. Like all the wood's just falling off the fucking ship, and we're all just dying.
But the ship is still sailing. Like,
yeah. He's like, oh, yeah. Are we going fast? Yeah, we are, dude.
But I feel like that's so many companies that are just like.
We don't even do anything.
But they want to get in the business to make a nut and then sell high. You know.
Yeah.
It's just like what. Like I understand the point of that, but it's just like
kind of like happen to get into a niche.
There's no morals there. There
isn't. Well, like I said today in Discord, I was like, oh wow, like I'm looking for this apartment building. I was like constructed and started in February, and I just pull up, and it's just a vacant lot. And I was like, multiple people confirmed and verified this. So for half an hour, I'm like walking around this entire town, like looking to make sure like the address was wrong or something. I was like, because all I had was a picture of an artist rendering of what the building would look like. So I'm like looking for this fucking like anything, and there's just nothing. And I was like, it has to be right. It's just a vacant lot. So just everyone's lying.
It's like, unbelievable.
Like everyone's multiple people. I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah, there's a building here.
You were like, normally my notes are like 3 sentences. I put like an essay. I'm like, I need to start being, we have to investigate the morals here because, I was like.
But you're the only one doing that. That's what I'm saying. Like.
Yeah, but like, oh my god.
They're like, oh, this guy would be great in management because he's passable at his fucking job.
I was like, I believe the geocode's correct. If you look at the satellite imagery, there was a building here 2 years ago, but it was demolished, so that's not what we're talking about. It's just an empty lot.
The amount of people that are average workers astonish me.
Yeah, but I'm not even trying.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm literally trying to be bad to get fired.
I know.
I haven't looked at my metrics.
I'm saying you barely trying is like
I haven't looked at
way above par.
My metrics in like 8 months. I don't even know what I am.
We
have a quantified number of how good we are at what we do, and I don't know what mine is.
Even still, though, you're still like above everyone else, which is crazy.
We're so good.
No, but we're like barely alive.
I know, exactly.
We're barely alive.
I'm
and
a
we're
barely
just like,
functioning human being.
But we know how human beings should fucking function, though. Like, so many people are just like, like, I don't know how to explain it other than that. Like,
oh my god.
It's so annoying, almost. Like, I almost don't want to know anything about entire middle culture.
I'd rather people just like be actually terrible.
Yeah,
it's like
I'd rather there be like 40 Trumps than like 50 people that are like mid range. It'd be so much easier to decide like what their plans are.
Yeah. I don't know, dude. It's all a joke.
It's very laughable.
It was all a dream.
A dream.
So yeah, no, I'm gonna quit.
I've honestly been begging you to quit for
I
so
know.
long.
And I told my dad, I was like, Greg understands that I'm like dying.
Bringing me into it.
Well, like, I don't know.
No, because my thing is that, like, honestly, any job that either of us do
We'll be good at.
will be fucking good. I'm already a
People.
supervisor. I haven't done a warehouse job. Look 4 or 5 years back in my past. I've never touched a warehouse in my entire life.
Yeah.
I've been in a warehouse 3 years, and I'm already a supervisor in one. Like I feel like that's maybe because a lot of people that go into warehouses don't have degrees, but so that puts me against other people that don't have degrees. But either way, any job that we have is just so much easier. Like it's easy to be average. Period. That's the moral.
Average.
It's easy to be average
Definition.
because average people are fucking trash. Sorry, but you're
I don't know, dude.
sorry. You're trash. We're better than you. Ugh.
I just.
The fact that you feel bad about being above average is like proof that you're better than everyone else, even though you don't want to say it.
It's disgusting. I'm disgusted. I just can't handle it.
No, it's.
I was like, there's no way. I was like, I was so sure I was fucking handicapping myself in weeks.
And you were like doing future work that like nobody's ever done and stuff. Like,
Yeah, I'm like running out of things to do.
It
I'm like
dude,
scrambling.
you're clearly like going above and beyond.
But like, what does everyone else do with their day?
Fucking nothing, dude. That's what I'm saying. Everyone else that's employed in your company
Do they just
is
hang
like,
out? Like, I don't
yeah,
know.
they just do a photo shoot poorly, and then they just hang out and fucking do shit all day. Like I don't understand.
Like,
I've never wielded a camera in my life, and I know I could be top percentage at your company.
I could
Right?
literally,
You'd believe that.
You'd
believe
show
that.
you in 15 minutes how to take like a decent photo, and you'd be ready.
Yeah, and I'm already halfway there.
It's just boomers, dude. Like literally, everyone on my team is over like 40.
Well, that's.
They're just boomers.
So is there like a galactic like confidence issue?
What does that mean?
Are there so many boomers that would love to be part of the automation boom, but they're like too early and they feel like they have to have a job, but they're still terrible at their job. So it's like these boomers have no place in society. But I mean they'd be able to fill gaps for automation, but.
I don't know. Well, I mean, like some of them are like aren't technically boomers. They're younger.
No. I mean, but when we say boomers, it's like a stereotype that's like super ignorant.
Older than I am.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just like I don't know. I'd get such satisfaction from quitting and making everyone be on their own because
which even more so, like
because
you're clearly like your manager has said that you're like the best at your job.
There's one guy who actually like, because she's like, oh yeah, like if anyone has any questions, like go to Colin. And I'm like, yeah, hi. And so I set up this whole thing, and I'm like, oh yeah, like we're gonna do like, I'll like critique your photos, we'll get the scores up, like just send me stuff.
Right.
And then no one sends me shit. Except for like one guy who does ask some questions, and I'm happy to help. And that's the guy went into Manhattan to do the shoot with.
Yeah.
And he's like, this was the most helpful thing ever, because like we need someone physically on the job with us, like.
Dude, that's what I'm
explaining
saying.
it, and I was like, yeah, like I can't teach this stuff over an email.
Right.
Like then I reached out to everyone else who are older than him. Like he's like barely 40 maybe.
Right.
So he kind of gets it. But there's like older dudes and they just, like, I can't help you
if you don't want the help.
I'm gonna put in. I'll say it once or one and a half times. I'll be like, all right, you know, if anyone needs me to come on a shoot with them, then I'll be like, if anyone needs me to come on a shoot with them, and they just don't say anything, then I'm not helping you, dude. I just, like, I'm not getting paid extra. I'm not fucking getting more vacation. I'm not getting anything for it. So
I feel like that's at least worth
all it is
a resume builder.
yeah, it's beef for my resume where I fucking duck out of here, dude. It's like, yeah, I manage my team more than my manager did.
No, because you have your resume and then you're gonna fucking beef it up beyond that. So you're just gonna be like, I was the lead photographer in a fucking... But, because you... even if they, like, backtrack and try and, like, find out if you were or not, and they contact your manager will be like, oh, yeah, he was the best. Like, it's not like she could lie about that and say, like, you weren't. Like, what motive would she have to say you're not?
Nah. Like
you know what I
said, she's nice, she's just incompetent.
Right. So I think, honestly, any next step that you have will be easier than, you know, your fucking undecided job now.
Yeah. I don't know, dude.
It's hard for me to see you suffer. It bothers.
Oh,
it's just like, why? Fucking why, dude?
Cursed.
It is cursed.
It's cursed, man. Yeah, it's cursed.
Like, you do so much and then
it's cursed.
And then what of that?
It's cursed.
Yeah, take your hat, sir.
That's what it feels like. Just a bunch of people asking for a hat.
That's what I feel like his...
Like I said, I will gladly take a dock and pay to not have this much bullshit to deal with. I'd rather be a record store clerk or something.
Anything.
Anything. Todd Rundgren.
Hello, it's me.
You almost went into U2. And
I didn't at all.
You were thinking it.
What song?
Hello.
Did not. I did
that
not.
Was exactly.
That. I did not.
You even did the same voice.
Hello, it's me. I got a magic better time.
Stop it.
Maybe you're the team of chance right.
I'm being bullied.
Seeing you. I don't know the lyrics.
I mean, that was a lyric. The previous one wasn't. No. Bring the corporate system to the ground. I swiped on a girl on Tinder today. Oh yeah, I'm on Tinder, by the way.
Yeah, I convinced him to fucking do it after
It's been about
light years of not.
It's been about that might be two months.
Probably 2 months.
2 months.
I've been
wow
toning the water with a bunch of different apps, but Tinder sounds even though it's like not what everyone wants, it's like the most consistent.
I think it just has the biggest user base.
It has the biggest user base. That's what it is. So I mean, that was...
They beat everyone to the punch and then had the biggest user base. And
yeah, Colin's like, oh yeah, I don't use it. And he has like 1,000 likes. And then I'm just like over here with like 6 likes.
There's no way.
I broke 9 today. He broke 100 the other day.
I probably have like 100.
It's almost like you're attractive or something.
No.
I don't know, dude. I think you are, dude.
I'm ugly.
It's almost like everyone in Wappingers Falls wants to date you or something.
It just says 99 plus. I've gotten about
over 100.
35 matches total. Maybe.
I'm at 7.
But like nothing's happened though. Like part of it's my own fault. I just don't. Some of the conversations die just because like I'm not gonna sit there and fucking drag someone into going on a date with me. Like, if you can't say
No,
anything about anything,
I
then,
mean, it should be evident that you're interested in the other person.
yeah, exactly. Like, if you're giving me like these, it's like, why did you even bother swiping or
Right.
like
Right.
responding in the first place? I'm just like, Jesus.
I mean, there's people I've swiped right on where I'm like, oh, I don't want to talk to you. Like, kind of.
Well, maybe I'm doing it wrong. I'm like super picky.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
so am I.
swipes.
But I'm just saying, like,
But it's pressure. It's a lot of pressure. I have all these matches in my queue, and I'm just like, do I talk to everyone at once? But then, like, what do I do if I
you
stop?
just fucking juggle, dude.
If I focus on someone, I'm neglecting everyone else. So then they just
I mean, you gotta do
they'll
something.
know
You gotta do something.
they know they're being neglected. So
If
then
I'm
just waste all those. Like, is it more of a waste to
if I'm going
interact?
if I'm going to a fucking Jimmy Eat World concert with Liz, you have to do something with your fucking.
Well, now I'm going
Fucking
to the
Tinder.
concert, so
Do you want to come? Please come. She said a friend of hers that's super fun is going.
super fun is.
I did not ask any other questions. Do you just want to come just to not even be associated with me?
What does that
The
mean?
chance. It's at the chance.
I mean, I wouldn't go to see Jimmy Eat World by myself.
Yeah, neither would I.
Then I'm gonna be associated with it.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
you're my boy.
Like, I'll go. There's not gonna be any obligation.
No, there will be no obligation. If she thinks she's sleeping over here, I'm gonna send her back to fucking Connecticut.
Who, Liz?
Yeah.
No, I want her to sleep over here.
no.
Yeah.
She implicated her friend.
Specifically.
She was like, "Oh, my friend's interested too," and I was like, "Oh, the more the merrier."
Dude, maybe they want a threesome.
Yeah, okay.
Greg's gonna get each one of his testicles sucked.
I'm gonna
at the same
hang
time.
myself with these Christmas lights.
Dude. Let's die, dude. I don't know. I mean, her friend is fun. Quote.
It's a different friend
It's
from
a
the one I
different
met.
friend. It's
The
not-
one I met before.
I mean, God, I'm gonna go and it'll
Seeing you.
be. Dude, Todd Rugby.
Dude, Todd's always relevant.
I'm gonna go and it'll be awful, but
Yeah, that's my entire goal.
it will be bad.
There's no reason. I'm missing Moon Duo at BSP
It's
Kingston.
not gonna be good.
I'm missing Moon Duo at BSP Kingston to go to a fucking. I can't believe it. A fucking Jimmy Eat World concert, but it is what it is. So whatever.
Trying to get it in, dude.
I mean, we got it. We're good.
Dude.
Seeing you.
I better not hear that from your room when you guys are.
I'm gonna blast Todd.
Like
with
I said,
slaying
that
house.
song isn't even a happy song. It's about a breakup. No one
She's
understands.
gonna be like, "Oh, I love this love song."
She's like, listen to the lyrics. No one gets it. No one listens.
Dude, that's like the same. You should have the same anger for like Born to Glory Days. Then Glory Days is like anti like
Yeah.
patriotism. But you're like, I fucking hate Bruce Springsteen.
I hate Bruce
Meanwhile,
Springsteen.
he's like anti-establishment.
He played that he was anti-establishment. He's a boomer,
What do you
dude.
mean he played he was a boomer. He didn't play as the anti-establishment.
He's a boomer, dude.
He's a straight boomer, but he played in the same fucking boomer hand as Billy Joel and
They're basically the same.
Billy Joel, Elton
person,
John,
right?
and what's the other guy? Baby, I was born to run. Bruce Springsteen.
They're all the same person.
I hate all of them.
They all just ride Harleys and like it's like get the fuck out of here.
It's like Wild Hogs 5.
I'm like, you haven't done anything unique in 30 years. Please just get out. How are you still selling out Madison Square Garden?
for like $500 a ticket.
Who the fuck is funding this? Other boomers. Just the boomer
Just
club.
pure Long Island culture.
It has to be.
It is. It is.
Unbelievable.
Believe it. Oh, my knees are dead. Alright, that's good enough.
We're calling it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Fancy good.
This is fancy. Fancy feast.
Don't ruin the song.
Paris Fance.